Hello there. I am Beth Green, and tonight, sweet baby James is back home.
I'm back.
Yes. And my topic tonight is our last show on a Friday. That doesn't mean it's our last show. It's just our last show on a Friday, colon, why healing our souls will heal our world. So before I continue talking about this topic, Erica said hello there, and hello there back, Erica. How nice. You're the first one to say hello. I am going to pass the baton to sweet baby James, who's going to introduce our show. And I don't have to pretend that I'm him tonight.
Right. I'll pretend that I'm me.
That's right.
So welcome to Granny Rocks Our World Grow, which now takes place every Monday and Wednesday after tonight at 6:30 p.m. Pacific.
Don't hang up. We are on tonight.
We're on tonight. Yes, we're still on. We're still on. And Granny is going to share her wit, her wisdom, and her uncommon sense. So stay tuned. And now here's Granny.
Thank you. And Tracy has said hi. Hi, Tracy. Well, I want to start this with, isn't this a weird topic? Our last show on a Friday and why healing our souls will heal our world. And they're the same topic, right? Right. You know me. I'm always putting together the wildest things. Okay. So I want to start with a story that I heard a lot of years ago from a woman who immigrated to the United States from Vietnam. And she had been in the south part of Vietnam during the war, and it was very traumatic. Or was it after the war? Oh, well, anyway, you know me. I have no memory. But anyway, I remember this. And she was telling me, and she had been traumatized, and her family had been traumatized. Everybody had been traumatized. And the bombings and the war and the poverty, the landmines and all of that. And she told me that on the boat coming over here, that the girls were talking about boyfriends.
Mm.
Now, isn't that kind of astounding? You would think that people who've been going through such poverty and struggle and not enough food and everything would be talking about all of that. But no, they were talking about their boyfriends or the lack of boyfriends or their love life or whatever. And it was so striking to me. Helen says Helen and Richard are here. Hello, Helen and Richard. It was so striking to me because, it makes you realize what those personal relationships mean to us in the face of all of the devastation that happens to people. And yet it's all connected, the social and the personal. So bear that story in mind, and you try to figure out what I mean and how this relates, right? So I'm going to take on why this is our last show on Friday. We've been doing Monday, Wednesday, and Friday for quite a while, and I have loved it. And I've loved talking to you guys and getting your comments. And even on a Friday night when a lot of people are out dancing or doing whatever they're doing, there's always somebody here.
Having dinner out with the family.
Right, or with each other, or with their lover, the secret lover. So, but we've always had a good crowd, and we've always gotten lots of people watching afterwards. So it isn't that. It's not that there's anything wrong with Friday. In fact, it's been a great night for us. But we used to just do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday on Grow, but now we've added another live stream called Dreams of Peace, where I play the piano for 15, 20 minutes every Thursday night at 7 p.m. So it's now become a little bit overwhelming for me to keep up with all the responses. I mean, we are like being inundated with responses on Dreams of Peace. So many likes, so many loves, so many comments, and we also have many people that I connect to here. And it's a bit much for an old lady. So anyway, reluctantly, I'm giving up Friday night and hope that you keep coming Mondays and Wednesdays. Then you won't have to feel guilty
if you want more. Stay on after Wednesday's Grow, enjoying the discussion at Growth.
Good
7 o'clock.
idea. Good idea. The first one is free. You should really
And it's
try
guided
it.
by this intuitive counselor.
None other than 7 p.m. Pacific time. So what we're doing is we're at least suspending it, and I think it's probably the good thing. And if you want more, you can go to my website, bethgreen.org. I've got a million videos on different topics. At Granny Rocks TV on YouTube, you could never have too much of me, right? Helen says, good for you. We'll be here on Monday and Wednesday. Thank you, Helen. But and they're also on growth. They're also on growth. So you're all invited. Anyway, so what does this have to do with the story of the 2 women on the boat from Vietnam? Really? Well, I thought you'd never ask. Well, what I really want to talk about is something that I'm experiencing lately as we have more and more viewers on Grow and more viewers on Dreams of Peace. Now, Dreams of Peace, because it's not English, we're sending worldwide, and we are being inundated with likes and loves and comments from all around the world. It's amazing how much response we're getting. And what I'm doing is I'm sending out spiritual vibes, warm vibes, loving vibes, something.
And beautiful music.
And of course, beautiful music, beautiful piano, improvised piano music. You should really tune in if you haven't tried it already. Some of you really have enjoyed being there, joining us either live or afterwards. As usual, it's on the Facebook page afterwards. And it also eventually migrates to the YouTube channel, Granny Rocks TV. And so what I've been getting is enormous amount of love from the people who are watching Dreams of Peace. Are you beginning to see the connection? It's all about love, right?
Yeah.
People loving me, I feel loved by them. Now, I'm not confronting them on anything, which is like so much the better, right? I'm not saying, hey, we have to look at our behavior. It's just like I'm just putting out the warm goo goo gaga vibes, right? But it's not goo goo gaga music. It's not trite or trivial or anything.
It speaks to the soul.
Oh, Erica says soul
food.
That's exactly
Thank you,
right.
Erica.
And in fact, a woman from Romania wrote to me today that this music heals her soul. She can't speak English, but it heals her soul. And of course, that's the topic. Notice that why healing our souls will heal our world. Well, I'll get to that in the end, and then you'll see how everything connects. I hope either that, or I'll shoot myself, and everybody will say,
why spec harder rubber on city trucks? That's right.
I had something up because I wanted to show you something.
An alien invasion by advertisers.
Oh, I can't believe it. I had these really good information. Well, I'll tell you about it, which means that I won't give you the right facts because I'm going to tell you about it. I wanted facts, but anyway. But what I'm realizing is that the love is not a one-way street. That I am putting out loving, healing vibrations to the universe. I mean, really the universe. I mean, I'm getting responses from Thailand, from Nigeria, from Italy, from South America, everywhere. And people are pouring out their love to me because they are feeling loved. And that has just touched me so much because I can feel how desperate people are to feel loved, to feel cared about, to be seen, to feel valued, and to get the help that they need. I feel it. I'm sure you can feel it too. We see it in our friends. We see it on the people on the street. We see it, the homeless people. We see it from the stressed out executives in the executive suite. The need to feel seen and loved and valued. We see it in ourselves. It's just a driving force. And so I've become aware of how addictive that can be. And I suddenly had a realization of what it would be like to be a rock star. I mean, let's put it in proportion.
After all, Granny rocks.
Oh, that's it. That's it. I mean, I have people, men and women, telling me, I love you, and they send me roses over the internet, and I don't mean physical roses. Anyway, and I respond to them. I have to respond to them because I feel the outpouring of love, and I really appreciate it. So, obviously, this is the theme, is that need to feel loved and valued. And I'm aware of how desperate people are and how lonely they are, that, they're looking to me and they're wanting and needing something, some feeling of connection. And I am not putting them down for that. I have that need too. I'm just grateful that I have a relationship with a man that I can actually talk to and that I can feel the connection at least some of the time. Now, what does this have to do with healing our world? And what does this have to do with our last show on a Friday? You were probably way ahead of me already. You've already figured it out. But just in case you haven't, then you get to listen to me a little longer. What that bit that came on was an article. I might take a chance on putting it again up because I did want to actually have the facts for you. Now, these facts, it's very simple. It's just that I don't have any memory. So here we go. Let me try it one more time. And it says, one brutal sentence captures what a disaster money in America has become. And this is the Business Insider. This is the Business Insider. This isn't the left-wing, Guardian. The bottom half of Americans combined have a negative net worth, Ben Steverman wrote in a recent Bloomberg article. Negative, in other words, that the bottom half of Americans owe more than they have. And then they talk about the secrets and how it was based on this, great research. And it also found that 20% of American wealth is controlled by the top 0.1% of taxpayers. That's 1/10 of 1% have 20%, which is about 170,000 families. And the top 1% control about 39% of the country's wealth. And the bottom 90% have only 26%, despite years of economic growth in the U.S. overall. And it says, and the guy said, the pie has not become bigger in the U.S., Upman told Bloomberg. It's just that a bigger slice is going to the top. Wasn't that worth reading?
That's amazing.
And I also read today that a record number of young people went on strike over climate change today. And there's record-setting heat waves in the southeast while there's record flooding in the Midwest. We have some problems. We are not being taken care of. Our needs, our well-being, from an economic perspective. Debbie says, hi to you both. Headed to work. We'll have to catch up tomorrow. Hate to miss this. We'll be on. We'll be waiting for you tomorrow, sitting there on Facebook waiting for you to come back. Thank you. It's so good to hear from you. The nerve of your job getting in the way of our rap. Anyway, how are we supposed to feel loved and cared for when we have so little social safety net, when people are so desperate around money? Many retirees can't retire. Many people, are struggling, and so there's not a social safety net, and there isn't an emotional safety net. People are afraid. People are stressed. Afraid. I mean, when you fray a cord. I don't mean afraid, but we're afraid too, right? Our nerves are on edge. We are using drugs and everything in order to resolve these feelings, and that just makes it harder. And then the people around us that we want to connect to, they're all messed up too. And yet we all desperately need to be seen, to be loved, to be valued, and to be helped. I am telling you, I know this, and so do you. So now, if we could heal our souls, and we could feel that love, that value, that we would actually feel that we have value. And I'm an intuitively guided counselor. I work with people all the time. I see how desperately negatively people think of themselves, how little support people had in growing up to actually be well people. God bless our parents. They did the best they could, which sometimes was dismal. and sometimes was okay, right? And sometimes was great, you know. But most people didn't get the love and support and real nurturing. And God forbid you had a disability, or you were gay, or you're the wrong color, or you're transgender, or something about you, so that it made it even harder for you to feel valued in society. Or you're old, or you have, you know, mental issues or something. We don't feel seen by one another. We don't feel loved. Oh, Debbie said, I've worked in nursing homes 46 years. I really know what you're trying to get across to people. God bless you, Debbie. Thank you so much. And please share this show with everybody. Everybody needs to understand this. The level of despair is so intense. And it's not just in our country, because I'm seeing it from the people across the world. Even young people, what are they responding to see an old lady playing the piano, aside from my beautiful music, is that my heart is reaching out and my soul is reaching out to theirs. Erica said the physical, spiritual, and emotional destruction you're talking about seems to be the design of the systematic strangulation by that tiny percentage. You are so damn right, Erica. I mean, it is, you know, grabbing the pie, and then people get mean and angry and stressed, and, if I may say so, stupid, because when we're stressed we are stupid, and we're ignoring all the real issues that are going on. I've heard from Sweet Baby James today that our president has now declared another national emergency so that he can bypass Congress, and so he can sell $8 billion worth of arms to Saudi Arabia that goes around executing and torturing anybody who disagrees with them, including, you know, women who just want to have some basic rights. And they're dropping bombs on Yemen, and the Congress wants the government to stay back. But no, our president is in a pissing match with Iran. And so we have to now send $8 billion and make money for that, you know, group of people who are going to be benefiting from that, when we have a decaying infrastructure and when we have desperate climate change issues, which means that we don't even care about our own children. And they are feeling that they are not being cared about, because the planet that they are inheriting doesn't look like the one that most of us inherited. We need to get those positive vibrations into us. We need to feel valued. We need to feel loved so that we can become well emotionally. And so many of us are not. And we should have nothing but compassion for ourselves so that we can start to stand up to any manipulation of us. So we can start demanding that there be a change in a system that does not reward people for hard work, for honesty, for integrity.
And does not demonstrate for those who are most in need. Demonstrate caring.
That's right.
Most in need.
So our last show on a Friday, what does this have to do with all of this? It's very hard for me to give up this show on a Friday because I want to reach out to you every day. I want to show you my caring. I want to reach you with my soul to your soul. I want to play the piano for you every day. But I am so grateful that this world is full of incredibly creative, intelligent people who understand these kinds of things, who care about one another, who care about the children, who care about themselves, who care about our planet, who are inventive, who are bright, who are a lot more alert than I am at this age. You know, and I have to sit back and say there's so much more wisdom today than I ever heard when I was growing up, real wisdom. And there, you know, if people weren't so desperate, there wouldn't be so many sayings on Facebook about loving yourself and taking care of yourself and being inspired and never giving up and all of that. It's there. You can see it. You can see the need, and so can I. But I also see the troops of people. I bet many of you are in those troops in small ways, in big ways. There are so many people. And so I am hanging up my hat for Friday night, but I will be with you every Monday and Wednesday, whether you want to hear from me or not. And I am not going to give in to my own desperate need for recognition and validation to say, oh, people are liking me 3 times a week. I have to kill myself because, don't we do that? We kill ourselves when somebody validates us. Our child blinks, or the girlfriend blinks the eye, or the whatever blinks at us, and like, oh, it flatters us, and then we sell our souls and our bodies for the company store. The boss gives you a compliment, and you kill yourself to get another one.
You only have so much energy. You have chronic fatigue.
I do. I have chronic fatigue and many other illnesses. So I have chronic mental fatigue too. So what I'm saying is that I had to fight myself to do this. I had to fight myself, my own need to hear from all these wonderful people, from getting the loves and the bouquets, and my music is so beautiful, and you're so wise, and you're so wonderful. And say, okay, stay centered, stay centered. Recognize that there is out there so much, but I will still want to give my unique piece every Monday and Wednesday. And if you, at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time, and if you have not listened to a Watch Dreams of Peace on Thursday night at 7 p.m. Pacific time, or afterwards, please check it out. You might find that it does something to your soul that we all desperately need, which is to do healing for our soul. Because when our souls are healed, we become caring for one another. We wake up out of the stupor. We stop fighting with one another, and we start fighting for that better world. So I thank you so much for all the support that we've gotten so far, and I hope to continue seeing you and more of you. And please spread the word. Share all of our videos if you agree with them, and do your best. Like, care, comment, even afterwards if you see this afterwards. I love it. I love your love, and I hope you can truly feel mine and that of Sweet Baby Jane.
Oh yeah.
Bye-bye until Monday.
Yes. Bye-bye.